Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is George. This is the Model Railroad Show, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a scenery update, show you what I'm working on. As you know, as I said in the January video, I want to get this basic scenery done before the end of the year. I do have some expansion plans for the layout this winter, which we'll get into in a video here at some point. But let's get into it and let's show you what I've been working on. All right, let's get into it a little bit. First thing I want to do is let's talk about scenery a little bit. All right, because I have a corner over here that we're making super interesting. Didn't want the old square corner, and I've got scenery here that is in a couple of different phases, so I wanted to show you that. All right, so the first scenery we're going to start out, this is just basic ground cover here, just thinned out, a little bit white glue, like not thinned out much, maybe like a teaspoon of water and like a half a cup of glue. And so that's what you see here. This is no scenery cement laid over. This is just the glue down and sprinkled over top, and I vacuum off the excess. And that's what we've got right here. I don't know how this is translating to camera, but this is just flat scenery foam. If I find a picture of it here, I'll show it to you. And one of the things I'm modeling here is, there was a canal that ran all along this river, or all along the railroad. And at this point, the late 50s here, the canal was dried up. So the gully was still there. Route 1 would have replaced this in Trenton. But I wanted to still get like the terrain a little bit carved out. So that's what we've got here. I've kind of got the terrain dropping down and then coming back up. And all I did here was I cut out the corner of the layout of the foam, the 1-inch foam that I have there, and busted out the Sculptamold and started, creating a landform. All right. And then you saw my basic scenery that was on the other side. This is now just that basic ground foam. Start with a layer of the Woodland Scenics earth. That's my first layer down. And then what I've been doing now is after that earth, I take some of the bare spots, and I've been using this fine, and I did a video on this stuff, the fine natural soil and dirt from Scenic Express. And then that is sprinkled in here. You can see I usually hit some of the bare spots. That's all in here. It's looking pretty good. Plus it's got some granules in it, so it mixes up the texture a little bit. You can see some here, some over here up along the edge. And then after that, I go in and I sprinkle some highlights of the earth blend. And the earth blend's got some different colors in it. It's got some reds and some oranges in there. Really, really fine, kind of represent weeds. And you can see that's what's giving us these different textures here, that little bit of earth blend. And after that, a little bit of the burnt grass, which I have somewhere down here. Super tiny bit of this goes a long way. And I'll show you what happens if you use too much of this. But yeah, super, super tiny bit of it goes a long way. And this is the base. So then we're done. After this, I'll move to scenic grass. All right? Scenic grass, static grass. And then the static grass, we come over here. Static grass is here. This is the base static grass. This is 4mm static grass. I use the 4mm in some scenes and N just because it just stands up a little bit more. It's a little easier to work with than the 2. I have some 2 that I'm working with, but so I just go with this 4. And then after that is a technique that I'm going to show you so you can see what this grass looks like. I think it's translating the camera pretty well. And a technique that I'm going to actually do a video on, and this is not something I came up with or I invented, but watching Boomer, he airbrushes a lot of his scenery, and that's what I've started doing. So you can see that this static grass here is airbrushed. I'll show you how I do that. And also you can see some different tones in here that I've airbrushed some buff into the actual ground itself. And then just added a little bit of coarse scenery. All right, and we'll pause for a quick break here as we have an E7. I'm trying to run trains when I do videos for you guys as I talk to the camera. But yeah, E7 is brand new, little AB set. I will probably just run it as an A when I do when I start operating, just out of the length of it alone for my arrival departure tracks. It's kind of long. And yeah, and there we have an N5 caboose, one of my favorite. If you're a Pensy person, should be your favorite. All right. As it looks, this is more of a, you know, relatively completed for now type of scenery. There will be more details. As you can see here, I have some deer floating around in here that I just put in, and also worked on this tower scene a little bit. Got a little railroad working there, looking at the dog who's hitting the trash can pretty hard. All right. And a few other things here. This scene is really coming together nice. This is the yard office. We got a little pickup in there. Probably just came from Milford Lumber. Got some 2x10s in the back. And I got some junk in the yard over here that I picked up. And yeah, looking good. And you can see this dirt here, how this dirt is like one kind of tone. And that's because I haven't airbrushed this yet, but we'll change all that up. I got some rails and going to do some wood ties over here, kind of get this dressed up a little bit. So yeah, so that's what's going on with this scene. Got the people. It's looking good. Working on it. And as I said, this is an example of what happens when you use too much of the burnt grass. See all that yellow scattered in there? I mean, I'm going to cover some of that up, but that is just, I don't know how it translates to camera, but it is too much. It's not looking awesome. So also making decisions on the railroad. I've had this track here, and this track I picked up on a prototype Sanborn map. It was laid out relatively like this, but it was just this one track out on its own. What I'm going to do with this track is I'm going to turn this into a team track, because why not? In Trenton, the PR referred to these as public delivery tracks. So that's what this will be. It'll be a public delivery track. I got some loading docks there. I'll put a little office at the end. We'll change up the scenery. We'll get some, you know, like a gravel lot in there, and we'll have an extra place to tend to for the Coalport switcher when he is working that job. All right. The other thing I did is I put some bump stops back here. I need to put a backdrop back here, but I was always, you know, flying blind over here. I didn't have any bump stops back there, and I lost a caboose. I accidentally bumped the throttle for an active engine that I had backed into an arrival departure, and threw the caboose down to the concrete floor below, and it was not a happy day. All right, coming over to this side of the layout, got a Trainmaster sitting there on the siding. And yeah, this is the edge of Frenchtown here. So we have the Farmers Co-op. We have our E7 making our way through. I'm going to turn on the sound for you guys before the video is over here, so stay by for that. Really nice sound on this locomotive. And so what I wanted to show you here is, if we take a look at this Sculptamold, let me get this building out of here. You can see how this Sculptamold is it's just, one, it's not on here thick enough. You can still see plaster cloth. Mistake number one. Mistake number two is you see all these lumps, and you can kind of see it all, like in here too, all these lumps and all these bumps. It really doesn't look good. It almost looks like somebody vomited up on your railroad. And the problem I was having is I wasn't mixing it thin enough. I was mixing it too thick. The paper clumps in the Sculptamold weren't absorbing all the water. And that's what I said when I did the Sculptamold video. You can go back and find that. Is mix it, mix it kind of thin, and it gives you a better texture. And then you can see here, I haven't even painted this with scenery yet. But this is nice and smooth. I have it transitioned over, but this is just the leftover Sculptamold I had from when I was doing that corner, but I need to come in here and just recoat this. I'm going to give this like a skim coat, almost like a spackle coat, coat of Sculptamold, get my terrain going, because we are going to start to work our way in through this direction. All right. And, Yeah, huge difference. I mean, you can see this is nice. This is, what I'm working with now. And it's just a consistency of just getting it to be, almost like mashed potatoes, kind of just a little thinner than mashed potatoes, as opposed to this clumpy mess. All right, so that's where we're at there, and we've got some dudes fly fishing here, looking good. Got a little sunlight on the sunset on the Delaware River. That scene looks kind of nice. I probably should take a picture of that. Looks good with that light back there. And then most of you have seen the video on this Milford Coal Lumber. Looking good. Looking good. The scene's looking really nice. I'm going to start to work over here a little bit, but again, one thing at a time, but I'm happy with the way it's coming out. So yeah, so that's it. A few scenery tips there. That Sculptamold especially. Mix it, thin mashed potatoes. Let me know what you think of the E7. I need to probably do an actual video on that. I've got a couple of locomotives that I've added to the roster over the past couple of months. So need to definitely go over those. A bunch of stuff coming for the channel videos. I got a new modeling desk, which I'm working on a video for. I'm completely changing my setup of how my airbrushes and everything is, organized and set up. So I'm going to share that with you. Also upgraded my airbrush setup, and super excited about that. I actually just got everything together. Haven't even used it yet. So again, video to come on that. Some organizational stuff for the model railroading desk, and of course some more scenery. I've obviously got a huge, third of the railroad to get some basic scenery down on. We'll see how that goes. And like I said, big plans for the winter to expand this baby. And I think that's going to be a great series of videos to how why I'm expanding it, and the parts of Trenton that I'm going to include, and how I'm coming up with those track plans. I mean, the history writes itself. You don't need to be creative to be a model railroader. The history writes itself. It's all there. All you have to do is make the effort and go find it and start incorporating it and compressing it in a way that it fits onto the model railroad that you have or that you want to build. All right. Like I said, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up, ring the bell, hit the subscribe button, do all the YouTube things. It's free for you, helps out the channel and this video a great deal. And my name is George. This is the Model Railroad Show, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, later.